I request conference convener Dr. Bakul Rao to officially welcome all the circular economy enthusiasts who are present today. Over to you, Bakul ma'am.
So, good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay in the program. So, good morning and welcome to all. So, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this international conference on built environment and beyond, which we call it as BeBeyond 2026. And the special focus is circular economy. So, this conference is particularly special because it marks, as what Professor Amruta said, a culmination of 2 years academic journey between the Spark UKRE Research Capacity Building Program, jointly undertaken by IIT Bombay, BNCA and Liverpool John Moores University in the UK. What began as a collaborative initiative has today evolved into a very strong international academic partnership. So over the past 2 years, 10 students from BNCA and IIT Bombay underwent an intensive 6-week hands-on training program on circular economy at the Liverpool John Moores University. Multiple academic sessions were conducted at both BNCA and IIT Bombay, and over a period of 3 weeks, students were trained on various aspects of circular economy, and which fostered a major dialogue and research engagement, and also the interdisciplinarity thinking which is there in the field. So we also had a privilege of hosting students from Liverpool in India, and during June 2025. So these exchanges are not just academic, but they are the spaces of learning, questioning, experimenting, and building research confidence. So I'm especially proud to share that students under this program have successfully published 6 Scopus Index research papers focusing on circular economy. As we gather today, I invite all you researchers, practitioners, and students to use this platform to think beyond boundaries, beyond disciplines, and hence the name BeBeyond, beyond institutions and beyond the conventional approaches to sustainability. Let this conference be a space for critical conversation, meaningful networking, and future collaborations. With great pride and gratitude, I welcome again all of you all. Thank you, and wishing you all a very fruitful 2 days of deliberations. I now request Professor Kedare to give his address, but before that, I have the privilege of introducing him. So he's the current director of the IIT Bombay, and he's also an alumnus of this institute. He earned his BTech and PhD from IIT Bombay, BTech 1985 and PhD 1991. And the standard parlance is that we tell the hostel, so he's from Hostel 5 of the campus. He's a distinguished academic leader, and Professor Kedare has made significant contribution to higher education, governance, and the energy sector. He serves as a member of the board and of governance at IIT Madras, and a nominated member of the Council of IIT under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. From 2015 to 2019, he was an independent director at Oil and ONGC Corporation, a Fortune 500 company. Prior to becoming director, he was professor in charge of the Center of Excellence in Oil, Gas, and Energy, IIT Bombay, which leads initiative fostering research, industry collaboration, and innovation in the area of energy domain. He's a faculty with Energy Science, Department of Energy Science and Engineering. I welcome you, Professor Kedare. I welcome you to give your speech.
Okay, good to be here, and thank you, Professor Bakul Rao, Professor Sharveya, Amanji, for being here, and the team from BNCA. And I see a good representation of the sensible, fair people here. We are not used to. We are male-dominant institute normally, but yeah, this is very interesting conference. Built environment, be beyond. I think it's B is not BE, it's B just for buildings, because build beyond. These buildings beyond what we are thinking now, beyond the present, for the future. So how this is, I think these are possibilities. That is what one of the major issue, buildings of the future. Yeah, going into enhancing circular economy, right? And then they are depreciated at certain rate. But buildings are also a liability for future, in the sense they have to be maintained, they have to be energized. It is said that by 2040 or something like that, 40% of our energy consumption will be in building environment management, either HVAC, air conditioning or heating or whatever is the local need and the seasonal need. So they are liabilities, right? And they will be consuming lot of resources, even much more than what has gone into building them. So unless actually we think about buildings and have a life cycle cost analysis of building, and when I say cost, it's of course cost economically. If I take the energy requirement of the building and the energy cost, it will certainly be better to go for a green building and buildings which are designed in a different way. There is no doubt about it. So economically, also environmentally, how much CO2 it consumes over a lifetime. So carbon footprint over a life cycle, and then activities, and all this needs to be there, needs to be considered. So this is very important. So I will say there is a circular, so environment is circular. Anyway, right, somebody's waste is somebody else's food. So that's how the whole cycle goes on for nature. Can that be done for economy? For example, in Indian system, we had lot of technology, but we converted technology to skills and not machines. And the skills, there are many skills. So the waste from one business, one artisan, is actually input to the other artisans. So that's how it was designed. So even in the economy, we had inbuilt the circularity, and also the economic activities, output of economic activities was again absorbed in the nature, and were not disturbing the nature. So this was kind of an approach towards economy. Social also, if we see the life cycle of a person, there is full connectivity from childhood to the aged person. Everybody has a role, and first he is homebound, slowly the person becomes outbound, then goes around in the society, earns, but again comes back to home. And so the elderly will actually transfer a lot of knowledge and expertise to the children. And so this is kind of a circular structure of society, family-based, society-based, and many complicated circles, as the nature has many complicated circles interacting, intertwined. Similarly, the social structure was also like that, and economic structure was also like that. Today there is a waste is, so there is a linear economy. So this is how we are now considering the economics. The linear growth is the development. Circular growth is not considered as development. Now how that basic philosophical approach toward development can be changed is a basic issue. But I am talking about larger thing. Coming back to buildings, yes, we have to have the building going back to, so maybe, by the way, I have heard, so there was one person, Ravindra Guruji, and he was in Adilabad, and he started this Kala Ashram, and he went around about 30-kilometer radius of Adilabad and spent his life there and documented a lot of things. So he says that there was a practice of burning the complete village after about 100, 200 years and rebuild. Because the buildings, the houses are all from renewable material, wood, and they will slowly degrade, and it's better to burn the whole thing. And therefore we find at many times a village, over village, over village. If you do the archaeological surveys, we find many layers of civilization, so-called, in the village level. So you turn back all the village to ash, rebuild it. So even that approach was there. So these are many things that were there. I don't know how do we bring it now, but we are now seeing death of an old house and a new building comes up. Now, are you planning for death of that new building? Will it pay for itself and have develop assets so that it can be rebuilt? Will it create debris, or can it be recycled? So overall, these buildings, how do you design a building which is recyclable? The practices are environmental, it can be recyclable, energy footprint is low. There are many such things that we need to work on. But I will say that there are many steps in it. We will have to monitor, which is started, monitoring the building footprint. There are normally a lot of electronic systems in a building. Can we also monitor environmental issues, emissions, carbon dioxide emissions, this, that, from the building? So monitoring, measuring, that's the first step. Once there is a measuring, monitoring, can we incorporate design features based on that monitoring? Can we model new buildings? And modeling can suggest that, okay, its lifetime carbon footprint will be this much. But one thing is, for architects, the technologists need to build a design support software. So we had worked some time back, Professor Nayak had worked on it, and we developed a software which can be, so the design done by architect can just be copied there and the analysis can be done. Suppose I put white paint somewhere on certain face. How will it change? Suppose I change the window panels to double panels. What will the cost increase? What will the energy saving? So these features which are integrated with the architectural softwares need to be developed. So design support. Can we have a construction support so that how the construction be less energy consuming? What are the economic aspects of it? What is the recyclability of each material that we go into the building? So this construction support needs to be done. We need to work on policy so that people may have to adopt, but that have to will be possible only when there is some awareness and there is some acceptability of the practices. Government won't dare to do some practice policy which is not acceptable. So unless there is awareness, there is basic acceptance, there is a basic understanding that over a long term, this is more energy efficient, economically better. So a financial model can be done. For example, the building and its 20 years complete energy and all maintenance is done by one financial model. Then that person will have to go to a building design which has less energy, which is more comfortable without consuming energy. So the financial model also needs to build up. For example, this Harish Hande's example in solar bulbs, solar light in the villages. So actually, people always say that photovoltaic panel and a light is a solution for rural environment where there is no power. But the fallacy is solar is highly capital intensive and rural areas are dearth of capital. So it's a mismatch. So what he did is he said that, okay, I will install, but you agree to pay 10 rupees per week, which is fine. And so for that necessary finance was mobilized at 2%, 3%, 5%, whatever. And the financial model, so that over 3 years per week, 10 rupees are collected, and that's it. And then that person who goes for collection, it also maintains it. That's a very good thing. So he has its own economic model based on it, and he or she can service, say, 10 villages. So this financial model is very important even before policy can come in. So how can we have a financial model that is build and operate type of things? That build and operate is very common now in roads. So can there be build and operate model for the buildings? Right. So these are all the issues. And I think new ideas will come up, which are, and architects are normally down to earth. That's what I respect. They are engineering artists, right? So I have a lot of hopes from architects. And I will say, maybe the last comment I will say, that buildings are the statements for the future. It's a reflection of how you see your future. Do you see your future as a compartmental square blocks, or do you see more interesting, more variational? How do you see your future? Do you see your future to be green, address the future issues? So buildings are the statements for the future, and they are going to be there for 30, 40 years. So therefore, we need to be beyond, that is build beyond. And I think if that is under that background, if we work technical and practical issues, it will be very interesting to take this ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shirish Kedare, for that insightful talk. I request Dr. Sharvaya Dhongde to kindly felicitate Dr. Shirish Kedare on BeBeyond, on behalf of BeBeyond conference team. So these bags are from Recharkha, and these bags are recycled from waste plastic. So the carbon footprint for these bags is comparatively less. So thank you. And I now request conference co-convener to kindly give her address regarding
Research truly reflect the vibrant academic community that is present here. We are especially delighted to collaborate with two eminent publishing partners, Springer and Sage Publications. So selected papers out of this conference will be published in Springer's Scopus Index Proceedings, lecture known Journal of Real Estate to Vanavihar. So please check your schedule that is given in your kit, and where the sessions that you would like to attend or present, please be available at venue in time. There will be parallel sessions, so three sessions will happen at each venue. And on the day 2, there will be happen at each venue. And on the day 2, there will be 2 sessions. Each session will feature presentation as per the schedule provided to you. And we are pleased to announce that there will be Best Paper Award for each session, and which is generously offered by Springer. The award includes a gift voucher worth 80 euros. And you can select ebooks from Springer out of that gift voucher. So that is very exciting announcement. The winners will be announced though at the valedictory function. So you have to wait till valedictory function whether you are the awardee. Presenters are kindly requested to collect their certificates at the end of each session from the session coordinator. As this conference is focused on circularity and circular economy, we are also committed to practicing what we advocate. We are making conscious effort to minimize and recycle possible waste, and our kit is one of those example. We have kept a recycling box outside this venue near to the reception, and we kindly request you to drop your iCard after the conference so that we can reuse those ribbons and recycle the paper. So please make that effort. Before we proceed, a few important safety instructions. Please note that the fire exits are located, 3 exits are there at the rear side and 2 on this side. They are clearly marked, and session first aid box are available with the session volunteers. In case of any emergency, please contact conference help desk immediately, and you can contact on the number 9969631736 to Miss Pramila, who is Sitara staff. Toilets are located in the main building next to this auditorium. With that, let us move ahead and make the most of this insightful discussions and knowledge. Thank you and wish you.
He has kindly given his address to our conference convener, Dr. Bakul. I request Dr. Bakul Rao to kindly address the audience with Dr. Sachin Patwardhan's address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, Amruta. And I have the privilege of reading Professor Sachin Patwardhan's short note. Conference which we say is sponsored by SPARK, which is the Scheme for Promotion of Academic and Research Collaboration. It is a flagship mobility grant funded by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, which enables productive academic cooperation in the areas including joint research programs, exchange of faculty and student, joint degrees by supporting the following critical components that can catalyze, impact, top international faculty in Indian institutions to pursue teaching and research. And I had mentioned we had faculty from Liverpool John Moores University visiting us. And I had mentioned that 10 of our and BNCA students had gone to Liverpool to learn from there. Joint development of niche courses and world-class books, monographs, translatable patents, and demonstratable technologies or action research. The SPARK program started in 2018, and till date, IIT Bombay has had 24 projects sponsored. 13 are closed and 11 are running, and the proposals has been accepted for round the year in 12 focus themes identified by the Empowered Committee on Industrialization and International Collaboration. So this is apart from what Professor Patwardhan had put across. What I want has been quite successful, and IIT Bombay has been quite successful in delivering those, and we're the only institution which, so thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bakul Rao. Now we actually start with the keynote address, which I think all of you are waiting for. Today we have Shri Aman Mittal, IAS, who serves as a Joint Secretary, Executive Officer at the Maharashtra Institute for Transformation, MITRA.